I ask for the truth on behalf of Swati Aggarwal concerning relationship issues. And will he accept her proposal? She seems to be getting all mixed messages at the moment. What's going on here? What is all this about? What's the truth? I ask for the truth. I ask for guidance and insight in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the crow, the carrier of souls from darkness into light. And we cut the tarot deck for you there, Swati, and I'll move the cards to the side here. I'm going to now deal out 3 cards. The first card we deal is in the position of the past. In this particular case, it's the recent past. A period of time between now and roughly this time last month. The next card is in the position of the present, so that tells us about what's happening now. You could say about, say, 3 days behind, 3 days ahead, that sort of period over the past week, and throughout this week that we're in at the moment, as you could say. And then the next card we deal is in the position of your immediate future. This is a period of time between now and this time next month. This, of course, foretells of what potentially could happen. It doesn't have to be true if you have control over it. If if it is a minor arcana energy, you have power to change it, but of course if it's a major arcana energy, it points to something more major. Let's though start at the beginning, and we'll start just recently, and we'll establish what's been going on in this situation that you're in. You've got this this gentleman here and asking him out on a date or whatever it is. I don't know what this is about, but certainly he's either not cooperating with your requests, or he's giving mixed messages. What is this about? Let's flip this card, the first card, very slowly, and this card represents the recent past, so this will talk about what's been going on just recently. Notice here you've got the Ace of Cups. Cups represents the element of water, and the Ace is the one of, you could say the one of cups, or the one of water, couldn't you? That holds a Taurus sort of Cancer, Virgo type sort of energy. No, he doesn't. The Taurus side of it, of course, vibrates here in the sense of Taurus. I always link Taurus to like a raging bull, in the sense if he doesn't get or she doesn't get what she wants or he wants, they can be like a raging bull. Although in this particular case, of course, it's the one of the one of cups, or the Ace of Cups, isn't it? Cups is to do with the element of water. The number 1, or the Ace, which is 1, is to do with the element of fire. So you could call that the fiery part of water, couldn't you? And then a beginning of feelings. Notice there the crows rising in the background. Of course, in this deck, crow is king in this reading. And a red mist has fallen up on all this situation that you're on? Is that a mist preventing you to see? Correction, preventing you seeing what's on the other side? Feelings are ecstatic, there is ecstasy, there is rapture, but is that just merely on your part? Are feelings mutual? That's what you're hoping, isn't it? Or that's what you hoped. As you could say, that's what you hoped. And I'm getting this feeling as though that is what it's more about, hope. It's all been done more in hope than purpose, Swati. That's what this is about. Is the implication of your question seems to be he's not cooperating, and you're getting mixed messages, as if it's him to blame for not allowing this relationship to develop. When is it that, or are you imposing yourself upon him, and maybe the interest is just not there? But you're passing your failures, you're passing your disappointment, and whatever goes wrong, you're passing it because it's him not cooperating, it's him giving you mixed messages. When really, probably isn't interested, Swati. Probably all it is. I want to see though what's happening now though, because what's happening now will give us an inkling into what happened. The rapture was there, the good feelings were there, the new feelings that started there were I suppose kicked off, as you would say, if it were like a football game or something. The game had started, it kicked off, but the strong feelings were there, but nevertheless there's a red mist in the darkness that sort of keeps you, like a barrier, creates a barrier between you and him. I want to now flip this next card to see what's going on now, what vibrates right now. Another ace. This time the Ace of Wands. Wands is to do with fire, isn't it? The one of fire, which is the fiery part of fire. It's to do with success. It's to do with the fact that one rules, or can rule. In this particular case, you've got Aries, Sagittarius and Leo there. They are, I suppose, controlling type energies, aren't they? Trying to establish control or get a grip of, trying to dominate in some way, trying to rule, literally, in that sense. These either new feelings or old feelings that just can't get off the ground there. This feeling of ecstasy that you are with him, at least. You can be with him at a table, as we saw you there. And you have the smile, but he doesn't, does he? He just sits there and looks. And now there is the rule. Is it in the sense that you are trying to rule over this situation? You are very much in control of it, or you think you are. By you being as controlling as you are, you can somehow bring him round to your way of thinking. And if he doesn't come round to your way of thinking, well, he's not cooperating. He's giving you mixed messages. It's not as if he's come on with you and then give you mixed messages of whether he wants you or not. This is about you wanting him. And he's not cooperating with your lusts. And thus, he's the one to blame for giving mixed messages. And really, maybe it's just that you are trying to control this situation, and although a new relationship of sorts has started, it isn't the one you expected. It isn't taking off the way it should do. The aircraft is going down the runway, and it's time to rotate, in the sense of time to lift the nose up to take off, but the plane just will not lift up. It's stuck at the end of the runway, ready for takeoff, and you are holding onto the joystick, onto the control column, trying to get the thing off the ground, and it's giving you mixed messages, and you feel, yes, there is success, in the sense that you're with him, sitting at a table having your photograph taken, or you communicate with him. You've succeeded, all right, don't you worry. That is success. But is he doing it? Is he with you just to appease you, just to keep you quiet, maybe to buy time with you, so he doesn't want to feel guilty about upsetting you, and maybe there's no interest there, maybe there is. Maybe he's afraid of you, maybe, I don't know. Why am I sensing that? I don't know. I want to pull out this next card to just see what vibrates in the immediate future here. The confusion there with the Nine of Wands. More fire. The red mist again, showing that maybe that red mist that was there just recently is the red mist of confusion. As new beginnings always create confusion anyway. We don't know whether we're here, there or anywhere. We're on a precipice. Leo energy again, an attempt to control. Notice the 9 is the peak of magic. The 9 is the peak of the peak of magic, isn't it? Wands is fire. The 9 of Wands. Any number between 4 and 9, that's the numbers 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. They are to do with the element of water, the watery part of fire. There is a sense of in the midst of trying, in the middle of trying to control things, you are out of control and confused about what the mixed messages are there and will be there for the foreseeable future, Swati. But they are not mixed messages. They are not the mixed messages that he gives to you. They come from the confusion that grows within you because you're not getting what you want, because he's not rising to it or playing the game. He's there and keeps his distance. And I think he's afraid of something. Now, I'm not accusing you of having a reputation or anything of that nature, but he's afraid of something. Maybe he's afraid of either it going wrong, and maybe he thinks this is too good to be true, and probably is. The fact that a lady, usually I'm the one who's supposed to be asking the lady out. The lady isn't supposed to come to me and ask me. And there's clearly something funny going on. She's clearly after something here. She probably isn't. You're probably not, but he's giving that impression, isn't he? And that's the confusion that comes from that. Notice, of course, though, nevertheless, we mentioned the nine of wands, the peak of magic, a sort of crescendo of energy in some way, shape or form. And maybe that's what it is, an excess of energy there will be between now and this time next month. This is a warning to say there's an excess of energy, and things will, in your attempt to try and control things, you will end up out of control through confusion. You will want to control, and yet you won't know how, because you won't know what it is you're controlling. And the mixed messages, yes, Swati, are the mixed messages that you're giving to yourself. It's nothing to do with him giving you mixed messages. These are mixed messages that these are the things that the delusion that you're telling yourself, that this is this and that's that and whatever. And he's afraid of that. Maybe if it's a cultural thing where the ladies don't normally ask the gentlemen out, I don't know, or maybe it's just you're imposing yourself upon him. You're being pushy, and maybe he's got his eye on somebody else and daren't tell you. Maybe he's afraid of telling you that there is actually somebody else he's got his eye on, and can't find it within him to admit to that. Maybe. I say maybe, of course, and then of course maybe not. But there are mixed messages, all right, and there will be. The mixed messages are not really what's happening now. The mixed messages are what is to come. Mixed messages are to come. You really, when you're saying he's giving mixed messages, I think you're foreseeing the future. It's more out of foresight than hindsight. And you know he will be. It's as if you're saying he will be giving me mixed messages here because I'm not succeeding. And really mixed messages are going to be there, okay, but they're not beginning because of him giving you the mixed messages. It's you getting confused about what it is you're trying to control, what it is you're trying to achieve. Yes, you've succeeded, and you succeed right now. Success is there now. You are onto a winner. I can assure you of that. But in the midst of that, which is between now and this time next month, which is to come, in the midst of that, the next month, there will be the confusion. One of those situations where they say be careful what you wish for and you'll get it, in the sense that you'll get the control that you want. But it may not be what you were hoping for. It is maybe, I don't know, Swati, I really don't know. But in your attempt to get control and get a grip of the situation, it will lead to more confusion. And that confusion will reach a crescendo. The energy will be at a peak. And then that is when it will be... That is when you will find out whether it is or not to be. But please don't accuse him of giving mixed messages when you know full well it is your own disappointment. The fact that you're not getting what you want. It's that's the mixed messages. You're not, the results are the mixed results or confusing results should be paraphrased as mixed. The mixed messages really should be paraphrased as confusing results. The results of my efforts to control this situation right now. We've had the ecstasy. We've had the rapture, the good feeling that we've met for the first time, and now I've got to get in there and try and secure this relationship for myself, for whatever reason this is, either for your own security, or for a future that you don't want to be alone in, or something of that nature. I honestly don't know. But for as much as that may be what you're afraid of, he's afraid of you. Maybe he wants a bit more control over his own life than somebody, because I do sense you are a bit of a bossy person. You are yes, I do sense the bossy side of you in there, and like the Taurus, if you don't get what you want, you will be like the raging bull. Well, to think you said you were going to do that and now you're not doing it, or to think you're not doing what I wanted you to do, in a words of fact, and he'll probably turn around and say, but you never told me to do it. You expected me to do that. But you may have even told me, but you expected me, but it doesn't mean I'm going to do it. Because we sit at a table having a drink, or whatever it is we're doing, because we talk. I only talk to you because you talk to me, and I don't want to be rude. Maybe that's what it is. He's a gentleman, and he's polite, and he doesn't want to appear rude in any way. But this is more about your intent being more through hope than purpose. We know that. That is the truth, Swati. We know that. If things develop between you and him in the distant future, beyond the next month or so, it is really down to both of you. It's down to him, down to you, down to circumstance, down to spirit, whether spirit is willing it for your spiritual development. Or is this confusion there? But please do not accuse him of giving mixed messages, when really the mixed messages are just the disappointment and the what the hell do I do now. He's not playing the game. What do I do now? But that's not mixed messages. That's just you asking yourself, what do I do now? I've not succeeded. I'm a failure. But you don't want to admit that you're a failure. You want to pass the buck on to him. You're not the failure. He's the one who's not cooperating. That sounds better, doesn't it, Swati? It sounds better than the truth. Doesn't it? The truth, what your shadow for now is cast over. Until next time, these cards have spoken.